Hey, on the road with the Big Kahuna. Today is Labor Day, which is you get the fruits of all our work for a whole year with a day off. This is an important holiday when you think about it historically, because how hard people worked to make this country what it is. Contrary to what some people, Democrats, say, we live in a very wonderful country. They like to pick it apart. They like to cherry pick and pick it apart. I love our history, in spite of all the warts on it, and we have warts on our history, but it is how we acted upon those flaws that made our country great and made our country strong. I mean, shit, we fought a civil war that had more Americans die in that war than almost every other war until, it's a lot of people. That brutal, horrible war here in our own country, we celebrate it because it made our country stronger. And there are people who want to change history about what the people who fought in that war were about, particularly Confederate soldiers. Most of those soldiers didn't own slaves, but yet, they are depicted by the left as doing so. But history is our country's legacy. And what I really want to talk about today is legacies. Each and every one of us, when we leave this world, we leave a legacy. Hopefully it's a good one. So some it's not so good. In many ways, we are judged by our legacies. When Donald Trump leaves the White House, I'm pretty sure history will be kind to them, depending on who's writing it. But he will leave a legacy of a country that's safer and more prosperous than it was when he came into office, which is a pretty darn good legacy, if you ask me. But other people have legacies. I'm a big parrot head. I'm going to talk about legacies of two people that were on my mind over the weekend. Friday was Jimmy Buffett Day, and he has a legacy among his fans that he's dearly loved for his music. But another thing he had a legacy from was as a businessman, and he was a very shrewd businessman. He parlayed one single song, Margaritaville, into a multi-billion-dollar empire. That trademark, Margaritaville, is on hotels, it's on resorts, it's on cruise ships, it's on restaurants, it's on frozen food and tequila and just about a myriad of different products. And when Hulk Hogan died last month, he was in the middle of building a similar type of legacy, other than his wrestling legacy. He was an icon in sports entertainment. He was dearly loved by his fans, just like Jimmy Buffett. But he was building a business legacy that started with a beer. Oh, that's right, Jimmy Buffett had his own beer too. It's called Land Shark, and another one called Long Palm Ale. The ale you can only get at his restaurants. And then Jimmy also had the Land Shark restaurants too. But getting back to Hulk Hogan, he built a very good business with Real American beer, and that was his trademark, Real American, just like Buffett's at Margaritaville. and pretty much everything from his Real American Corporation started with Real American. And over the weekend, I watched the beginnings of his Real American Freestyle Wrestling. They got to work on the production value of it, but as a wrestling fan of all different types of wrestling, I thought the wrestling itself was really, really good on it. It was collegiate and Olympic athletes and MMA athletes competing in freestyle wrestling. And yeah, different. And this was the inaugural one, so there was different weight classes. Excuse me. It wasn't just Americans wrestling. There was Egyptians. There was Mexicans. There was somebody from India. Yeah, so it wasn't just Americans, but the program, the group was called the Real American Freestyle Wrestling, and he also was in the process of when he died was starting a restaurant chain just like Buffett did, and it was going to be called Real American Grill, and Real American Grill was going to be a wrestling themed restaurant, and his company was buying up Hooters chains, the corporate owned Hooters, and converting them into these wrestling themed restaurants. Unfortunately, Terry died. That was his real name, Terry, and he has not come to fruition as of yet. But they are still working on it. The corporation is. Like I said, Legacies. He's gone, but the company isn't. Just kind of like Jimmy Buffett's gone. It's hard to believe. In a couple of days, he'll be gone 2 years. And so this is what I'm talking about. Legacies. It's some people create grand legacies, and some people just create regular legacies. Whatever you do, create a legacy that is worth remembering in your life. My legacy is my sons, my grandchildren, and my legacy, that's in itself is a good legacy. So if you can build something and leave it behind, you've had a fruitful life. Stay safe. God bless. Hang loose.